What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This episode, instead of working on a car, we're working on the thing that hauls my cars. Because everything breaks around here. Like I said, we are working on the car hauler this episode, guys, because the last time I had it out, when I picked up that C10 project, the brakes were pretty much non-existent. And that was a long trip to go get that truck. So when we pick up our next project, this thing is dialed in and ready to go. Get this thing hooked up to the diesel, pull it up there into the front, get it in the air, start pulling this thing apart and see what we can figure out. Got her backed into the shop here. Let's get this thing up in the air, get these tires off. All right, so these jacks, if you haven't seen them in some of my previous videos, it's a jack slash jack stand, all on one unit. And you just go in, you jack this thing up, and when you get it up to a certain point, this will drop down, telling you you've reached a notch, and then you just lower it, and it's a jack stand. See, sets. So we know we're good, so we'll just drop this real slow. Boom, you're done. Fun thing about trailer brakes is you can't take drum off without taking the hub off. So you gotta take the spindle knot off, and you gotta pull the bearing out, dust cap. It's always a process. So after that trip we got back from the C10, I realized the brakes weren't working. We did pull this apart. We actually pulled them all apart, repacked all the wheel bearings on all four tires, put new inner seals in. This trailer has 6,000 pound axles and only brakes on one axle. So this is the only one that actually has brakes. But we repacked all the bearings, put all new seals in, adjusted these brakes. If you listen, they're just barely dragging. That's what you want. So they are adjusted correctly. Like I said, when it's an empty trailer with the weight on the wheels and we're driving down the road and we put that controller at full tilt, it will not lock up the brakes. It should definitely do that. In fact, it needs to do that to adjust your brakes properly, because you want it, basically, whatever load you have on the trailer, to be able to lock them up and then back your controller off till it just is underneath that lockup stage, and then you're dialed in from there. So maybe we have weak magnets. These have never been changed, or we don't have enough voltage back here. So we know they're working, just not enough to lock up the brakes. So we'll get the spindle nut off, take a look at these magnets. I'm looking in here, and this is nice and dry, which when we packed the bearings, there was some grease in here because the seal was leaking a little bit. So this is still all good, no grease. The magnet definitely has some wear on it. How these work is it'll grab the interface of this drum. It's electromagnet. When you put power to it, it'll grab, it'll go with the brake, and you can see it starts activating these shoes. And that's how these work. Pretty simple, actually. It's just, if it ain't working, it's a problem. So let me see what we can do here and get some voltage readings. All right, we got the Voltomatic here, set the volts, the V setting, and I'm gonna go ahead and probe these wires. I got my son up front, and he's gonna give me the power. We got the controller turned all the way up so we can see exactly what we're getting back here, actually to the brakes. All right, go ahead, try it. Okay, we got 10.5 volts there. All right, shut it off. It's gone. So we're getting voltage here. Tell them to turn it on again. Shut it off.
Shut it off.
I mean, the magnet's working, it just feels weak, but we don't have a full 12 volts here either. And I know the grounds are good because I've got extra grounds added up there and they look clean, so maybe we'll just change the magnet and see what happens. Maybe the magnet internally is just weak. Go change these magnets out. So you just push this in, there's a little clip, you pop that out. Try to. You know how this goes. Come on. I'm gonna destroy the clip. Yep, that broke. All right, slide this off. All right, so we got the magnet off. This is the old one. This is the new one. And it doesn't look, I mean, it's definitely worn. It's got some grooves on it, but this may or may not still be good. I don't know. It comes with new springs, new clips for the wiring, everything like that. But I did find that, looks like when I had this trailer built, they used these wire taps which I hate wire taps. I feel like they're always a bad connection. And these are the weatherproof style, but I'm gonna cut that off, run all the new wiring through, and use the solder splices that has the solder and it has glue and heat shrink on it. And I'll actually put heat shrink over that too to make sure that it doesn't get any water inside of it. And we have a good connection. It's all buttoned up. Go to the other side, do the same thing, and hope that we have solid brakes. All right, guys, so we got this all installed. The magnets in there looking good. All the clips are on. Wired it in with some solder splices. These are the wire taps I was talking about they had in there. Now, these are weatherproof style, but I do not like these. These make for bad connections, just the way they connect. So I'll show you what I use. So I don't use these in every scenario. Sometimes I'll just put the wires together, solder them, heat shrink over it. But these are really nice little splices to use. It has a low temp solder in there and heat shrink on the outside. So you'll just take your wires, strip it, split your wires like this. I twist them together, slide this over to where your splice is going to be right where that solder joint is. Heat this up with your heat gun, nice and even all the way around. You'll see that solder melt and solder those wires together. Then work your way outside like this and get this shrink wrap to just seal down and seal it up. And I usually slide regular shrink wrap over top of the whole thing and seal that down to make sure it's nice and weatherproof. Because on a trailer like this or something that's going to be outside, you want it weatherproof so that you don't get no water in there, corrosion, and mess that connection up later. This will make a nice, strong connection. These work really good as long as you use them correctly, and they're going to work great in this application. So I'm going to throw this back together and go to the other side and get that dialed in, and hopefully we'll have some brakes. So we got new dust caps, and it came with the rubber caps. You can see they're all dry rotted, and I don't know if you can see that, but they're not in good shape. So we're gonna slap some new ones in. I'm gonna leave this dust cap because it's still in good shape, but I have one over there that's all beat up, and I'll replace it with one of these fresh ones when we get over there. So, but other than that, I'm gonna change out all these rubber caps on all four. I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure that this magnet actually works with our new splice and everything. So I'm gonna have my wife activate the brakes, and we'll see if this thing actually stops. All right, hit the switch. Oh, nice. Let go. Oh, nice. So it's working. So when we get the tire back on here, we'll do the other side and see if this thing will actually lock up the tires now. Hopefully it will. Now that the magnet's all installed on this side, new spring, all new clips, it's all routed real nice going out the backing plate. I'll go around the other side and re-splice that in with the solder connectors and heat shrink, get that all dialed in. Then we'll be back over here, final assemble, and check and see if this side works, then drop it on the ground and take it outside for a road test. All right, we got this side all together. Dust cap's on, new rubber boot is in. I'm gonna have her check again by throwing the trailer brake on and make sure that this side's working, and I'll double check, make sure that side's working since the splices on this side interacts with both. So go ahead, hit the controller. Okay, let go. Nice, so this side's good. I'll check that side real quick, and then we'll get this tire thrown on if it's good. So that's on. Now this one over here is the one with the dust cap. Let me show you. This dust cap here definitely took on some damage, as you can see. She's pretty beat up, so I'm gonna pop this thing off, and hopefully the new ones will fit on there. See if this new one fits. Ooh, it feels pretty good. I don't know. What in the world? I don't have a socket to fit over this, but I do have a piece of exhaust pipe that seems like it might work. We'll see if that helps us get this baby on, get it nice and square, and give her a whack. Yep. Nope. Plan C, Plan Charlie. We got the exhaust pipe, got a bearing race pusher so we can hit it nice and even. And if we have to, we'll get a bigger hammer until this baby goes in. Here we go. This is the one. No, it's not. Try again. Nope. What in the world? All right, give it the beans. Here we go. Yep. Nope. Yep, maybe. Oh, she might have went. Oh, yeah. See? Perfect fit. That's never coming off. All right, perfect. All right, so she's all back together. She's back on the ground. We're gonna pull it out of the shop and see if it will lock up these brakes. Hopefully we're done and we can just park it and have it ready to go for the next project. Here's the deal. I'm gonna set you down right here. I'm gonna have you watch that back tire and you tell me if it locks up. I'm gonna get in the truck, I'll engage it and drive past the camera. Let me know. All right, let me know. Here we go. Gonna lock it up. Are we locked up? Feels like it's locked up. So after reviewing the footage, I am calling that a win because I saw that brake lock up and I'm gonna say that thing is good to go. So whenever we need this trailer to haul another project, or if one of my things decide to break down around here and I need to haul it, the trailer's ready to go. But if you know of a good solid square body or some project for a good deal, let me know because I might be interested. Try this thing, put it to good use. But anyway, again, I appreciate each and every one of you watching. And stay tuned for more videos because they'll be coming usually on a weekly basis. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.